I was probably 13 or 14 when I started smoking weed. And then I started drinking on the weekends, about 15. When I was 17 is when I did my first pill. And it was Oxycontin. That's when I became addicted, was with the Oxycontin. My first drink of alcohol, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. My dad gave it to me. He gave alcohol to me and my brother a few times. My dad was physically abusive and mentally abusive growing up. So my dad was an alcoholic. He's still an active alcoholic. He doesn't think he is. He's one of the functioning alcoholics, we'll call him, because he can pay his bills and he has a car and has a job, but he's not right within himself, and he's a very hateful and angry person. My mom never abused me or anything like that, but she was always taking my dad's side, I felt. I can remember sitting at the kitchen table and I said something that pissed him off, so he threw a fork at my face and it almost hit my eye. It hit me right here, and I went to school the next day with a black eye. And my friend, who kind of knew how my dad was, went to the counselor and told on him. And I had to talk to children's services. I mean, nothing ever came out of it. Like, I don't even think he talked to him. Was going to OSU, and I had totaled my car, and some of the people were really hurt. My dad was so pissed, I got kicked out of the house. Never went back until after I got out of treatment my first time, maybe 4 or 5 years later. I don't want to say I had like a horrible childhood, because I had everything I needed, and I even used to blame them like for why I turned out the way I did, but it's not all their fault. There might have been factors that helped with the situation, but I made the choice to use. So she's 11, going through her teenage. I got in trouble when I was 21. That's when I had just had my daughter. I caught some cases for stealing checks from family members for the oxy habit, and I ended up going to prison. I did probably like a year total between jail, prison, and then I had to go to a 6-month treatment, lockdown treatment facility. So that was my first time in rehab. At the time, I thought I was staying clean when I got out, but I got out and started drinking right away. And maybe 6, 7, 8 months later, I was doing pills again. I lost everything. I mean, I lost my daughter. None of my family talked to me. This is the first time I ever went to treatment because I wanted to change. When you're using, you have no feelings. Like, that's probably why it's so easy to do the things you do. You just don't think about anything but yourself, really. Being an addict is a very selfish thing. I'm a resident manager here, and I've been here since mid-January of this past year. On Tuesdays, but once a week, we will have house meetings, and that's just where I kind of like, if people aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, we talk about it, or if there's any issues going on in the house between anybody. The meetings are just to make sure everybody overall in the house is good and things are getting done the way they should. I'll write some stuff on here, or if one of them has an appointment, or like go see their PO, or etc. Whatever the reason may be, they can all write what they're doing on the boards and on the days. So a lot of us are here from trauma or abuse, mainly from our childhood. For real, it's a chance for me to be able to give back to some of the new girls that come in that are in early sobriety and try to guide them in the right direction and help them.
Miss Carla told me not to worry about it, but I told Miss Carla the same. If I wasn't in Amanda's house, like I would have been gone.
Can all be brought out and addressed tomorrow at our house, whatever, our all resident meeting
That's why I want to talk to you about it, because I don't know how to bring it out without being disrespected.
I wouldn't do it in the meeting, but maybe I would pull her aside afterwards and talk to her, maybe, if you really feel like that's necessary. I mean, everybody else said don't worry about it. It wasn't me, but Amanda, this could drive me back out to the streets, like for real. Like because I could be out there getting high because
you let people's opinions bother you, and that's something
because
you
I
need to
want to
work
be accepted.
Can't make that be the reason, Christy. You can't be mad if people don't like you. Like you can't. I know it's easier said than done, but fuck some of these people, okay?
It's not fair, Amanda. I feel like they just don't know what they do.
What is it that's bothering you the most with this whole situation?
That everybody don't like me.
Who said that?
I
Who
mean,
said
it's
people don't
obvious.
like you?
It's obviously if they're saying stuff that isn't true about me, there's people that can.
That doesn't necessarily mean that, though. You got to just realize that some people have nothing better to do than to just talk about other people. And when people do that, it's because there's something wrong within themselves that they don't like about themselves, or they see in you, or, I mean, there's so many different reasons. Like, we're not even going to go through the whole list, but it's not even worth you leaving, you going back out and getting high. You got to just remember, this is like a period of your life where you're just passing through. You might make some good friends along the way. Most of these people here you ain't never gonna talk to or ever see again.
Okay. But to me,
A lot of people are not here for the right reasons, Christy. They're here because they want a place to live. They don't want to go to jail. You know what I mean? Like, they're here for other reasons other than really trying to work on themselves and fix the way their life has been. And you just gotta start watching people and observe the people before you start hanging around with them and talking to them, because there's a lot of bad apples in this program. I hate to say that, but there really are.
Okay. Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. Stop. Oh my God.
There's a 12-step process. They're just called the 12 steps. And it's really about working on yourself and finding all your character defects and what it is, looking back at all your situations in life and what was your part in it. And then it's also about letting God into your life. And like, that's a big part of how this whole recovery process works, in my opinion. It's like homework, basically. Like, you guys have homework in college. Like, it's homework that we have to do, but it's on ourselves.
So you might leave? Still might leave?
I'm taking it day by day. For today, I'm in Ohio, living in a sober house. See how it goes tomorrow.
For real? That's the shit you're on? You'll get a sponsor and you'll participate in these groups and do whatever you need to do.
I can have the best sponsor in the world, but if I don't want to stay clean, I'm not going to stay clean.
She's right though, man. Like, you gotta have a sponsor. Like, have you ever worked the steps? Have you completed the steps? Maybe you should try that this time.
They do. If you've worked all the steps, it matters how you practice them in your daily life.
You're right.
Feeling cramps because I haven't felt them in months and months, and I'm feeling anxious because I haven't felt it in months and months, and I'm feeling all the feelings that you feel when you get sober again. And at the end of the day, we only have today anyway.
You're right.
Seriously.
I know.
So today I'm going to a meeting. Today I'm not going to get high. Today I'm living here. Tomorrow we'll try to do it all over again.
We have an open bed available right now, and I'm sure within the next few days I'm gonna get another new person. So there's been a lot. I'm the only original person left in this house from when I first moved into it. Everybody else is new. So mid-June, and I'm the only one left from the original 5 that moved in here. That's pretty real on the statistics, I guess, about people that stay and stick it out and do what they're supposed to do. I don't know. It's kind of scary to think about.